The internet is an infinite publishing platform. It means you can tell almost any kind of story. But how should you tell it? If you're in the news business, or any business for that matter, you should think about your customer first. Most people read news online between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That means they've got their lunch, the inbox is filling up, the voicemail light is on, the boss is at the door, the phone is ringing. They don't have a lot of time. That means efficiency is key. The governor of a southern state has gone missing. It's hard to show an absence, but it's easy to convey the basics of the story quickly and clearly. His staff doesn't know where he is. His wife doesn't know where he is. There's rumors he's off writing. Of course, when we discover where he is, and he decides to give a press conference, well, then you want to see it.
What's that? Obviously not.
The experience of the event actually trumps the details of the event. And nothing is better for conveying experience than video.
This was selfishness on my part, and for that I'm most apologetic.
Understanding the difference between information and experience is key to covering news. But when a story isn't breaking, you often have the luxury of merging the two, something we do quite frequently at Time.com. There's a spa in Israel that offers snake massages. I want to read about that. But while I'm interested in the origin of the practice and how much it costs, I definitely want to see snakes crawling on some dude's face.
Very different.
I can learn a lot about LeBron James from reading a profile. I can even get a sense of what the writer thinks he's like. But by putting the interaction between the writer and the subject on video, I get a much richer sense.
James is the rarest of athletes. He's actually exceeded the enormous expectations that trailed him out of this Akron, Ohio gym, where he humored a visiting reporter in a game of pig.
I can tell you'd rather do this and answer me questions all day today.
Very occasionally, stories are so rich or so overhyped that they can actually be overwhelming. One tactic we try to employ when that happens is to pause.
I want pictures of Barack Obama, but I also want pictures that show what he sees.
On the occasion of Barack Obama's first 100 days, for instance, we asked photojournalist Callie Schell to narrate her images and to explain some of the historic nature behind them.
There's a photograph of in the East Room, and he's sitting at this long white table, and it's President Obama and the entire Black Caucus. And they're sitting under a portrait of Abraham Lincoln.
Callie took something that we all know was monumental and made it a bit more intimate through the use of multi-platform storytelling.
Because there is actually, I don't think, any way you can capture how emotional that is. I mean, it really was like, you just realize how much all those people are there for, you know, they don't know you, they don't know any of us. They don't know this president, you know, and here comes in a team of people to, you know, decide their future and what they do. And I think it's easy for any of us, myself included, to forget.
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has a very considerable constituency.
A more recent example is Joe Klein's impressions of the Iranian election.
The people see him as one of them.
A story that swirled and ebbed, but that needed some explaining. And by Joe being there and telling us what he saw, again, pausing the story, we reached greater understanding.
Communications is making it very, very difficult to run a repressive regime these days.
So what's the takeaway here? Tell your stories as efficiently as possible, maximize the richness and quality of multi-platform storytelling when you can, and people like videos of snakes.
One of them kept nibbling on my eyelash.